Namaste and welcome everyone to this special webinar titled From Student to Inventors. Start your journey as an innovator powered by the James Dyson Award and hosted by JagranJosh. Invention today starts with a simple question. Why isn't this better? From traffic signals to school desks, to sanitation tools to wheelchairs, there are countless problems around us waiting to be solved. The James Dyson Award empowers young minds to think like engineers, act like inventors, and become builders of change. And yes, that includes you, whether you are in your first year of college or just graduated last week. Let's learn more about how this award works. The James Dyson Award is a global design and engineering competition. It challenges students to design something that solves a real problem. Practical, local, global, or personal. Participants submit a concept, visuals, and a video to communicate how their invention works and why it matters. The award offers recognition, global visibility, mentorship, and in some cases, even funding to build and scale your idea. Let's take a quick look at what it stands for.
The James Dyson Award is to encourage students at universities to solve a problem.
Single-use radiosondes become electronic waste. And we want to prevent that. So the SE radiosonde is designed to glide back to collection points.
My product Athena is a patient-managed scalp cooling device designed for patients undergoing chemotherapy to minimize hair loss.
Winning this really takes us to the next level of our development.
It really reinforces our commitment to solving real-world problems using environmentally conscious design.
Winning the James Dyson Award provided confirmation of the potential of the golden capsule.
Young designers should definitely enter the James Dyson Award. Setting this goal for yourself will push your design beyond what you even thought was possible.
If you are inspired to start, here, what you need to do: visit the James Dyson Award website, click on How to Enter, submit your entry with a clear project description, images, and a short explainer video. The award is open to all engineering and design students or recent graduates. Entries close on 16 July 2025. The link to participate is in the comment section. Let's now meet our incredible speakers who will share their journeys, insights, and practical advice on becoming a young inventor. Saurabh Nanda is an internationally recognized career consultant, youth mentor, and the founder of SN Mentoring. He has spent over a decade guiding more than 20,000 students and young professionals. Around the world, his work focuses on helping young minds discover purpose, make informed career decisions, and become creators of change. Welcome, Saurabh Nanda. Our next speaker is Praveen Kumar. Praveen is the founder and CEO of Dextroware Devices, an assistive tech startup based at the IITM Research Park. His flagship product, Mouseware, is a head-controlled mouse that gives digital access and independence to people with upper limb disabilities. Praveen is a James Dyson Award winner and a Forbes 30 Under 30 Asia honoree, and his work has redefined what inclusive innovation looks like. Saurabh, let's start with you. You have mentored thousands of students, many of whom may never have thought of themselves as inventors. Over the years, we have seen a bit education with a greater focus on hands-on experience like internship, live projects, and competition. How do you see this evolution impacting the way students prepare for their careers? Why do you think it's important for students to start their innovator journey early?
First of all, thank you so much for having me here. And thank you to the entire JagranJosh team and the James Dyson team. Well, this is my third year appearing on this panel, so it's quite special. Let me try and first explain, why there is a shift in the education approach in our country today, right? There are four major factors around this. The first one is around the market itself, right? The market is going through a great market correction. I would like to say that for the last 35 odd years, we've had very structured placements in our colleges where companies would come visit the campus. They would, recruit a lot of students and everything. And I think the only other country that I've seen structured placements happening in is Japan. Now, let me tell you, structured placements are not very sustainable. Why? Because it's a very small exercise where you try to understand whether a candidate is good or not. Then the company takes you, trains you, and then starts you on the work that they want you to do. This happened because of liberalization in 1991, and there was a need of a lot of technical manpower and workforce, which we didn't have. However, now, because the companies have figured out, they have built better processes, there's a lot of digitization happening, there's a lot of technology which is coming in. So what is happening is the companies are investing more in automation, and that is why less and less workforce is needed. In fact, most of the big giants like Microsoft or Meta, I think Meta recently announced that most of their entry-level jobs will be gone very soon, because around 18% to 20% of their programming will be done by AI. Salesforce has already done this, right? So a lot of those jobs are going away. Then what kind of jobs are available then? The jobs which are available are those which require a good skill set. If you have those skills, then companies are willing to hire you. That is why the impetus on skills is increasing. So now, where do the skills come from? Which brings me to the second factor, which is changing this. The second factor is our school education. Unfortunately, in India or Asia in general, I would say, there is more focus on the theoretical part, less on the practical part. Our students score extremely well in their final exams in whichever board they are, but that doesn't necessarily mean they understand all the concepts very well or they can apply those concepts. So when you look at NEP 2020, when you look at 21st century skills, all those things are important, and that is why that shift is now slowly starting to happen in schools, where students are encouraged to do a lot of work using their hands, application of concepts. So that is why you will see Atal Tinkering Labs coming in, which is another Government of India initiative. That is why you will see a lot of entrepreneurship training coming in, a lot of incubation which is happening for entrepreneurship. Like EDII Ahmedabad has summer programs and so on and so forth.
Yes.
Now, this then brings in, so if from school, what used to happen to our students? They would go into colleges where, again, the application of concepts would not be there. And that is where now students are now encouraged to do more. A lot of students have, today's engineering students in general have much more advanced skills, I would say, than when I was there in colleges. Why? Because when I was there, in an engineering college. So I understand what they are. Again, but what college definitely needs to do, if you can develop skill outside college, that's a very big question which comes in. Then why is college important? College is important to tell you how the world works, how humans work, how societies work, how businesses work, how the natural world works. But skills which are employable might not be given at college, and college might not be responsible for it also. So the 21st century skills, critical reasoning, problem solving is needed. Which brings me to the final part, which is your career pathway. If you want to be a problem solver in life, if your mind is wired like that, then you need to learn problem solving. And the sooner you learn problem solving, the better. That is why if you are in school in standard 6, in grade 6, and you have a question about how does the electrical socket work? If you feel like opening up remote controls and devices to see what's inside, then you're definitely meant to be somebody who works with engineering tools. Yes. And that is when this has to be nurtured. So hands-on learning, problem solving, dividing big problems into smaller parts, which is called computational thinking, design thinking. All these skills can be taught and learned from a very young age. That is why it's important for our students today at every level, in school, college, or any other level, to learn these skills so that they can be used in the industry, they can be competitive.
Yeah, that's great. Great. So, Saurabh, my next question is, what advice would you give to students if they are, interested in innovation and entrepreneurship? So, can you give us some, or share some steps they can take to start this journey, and how platforms like the James Dyson Award can help young innovators take their first big step?
Absolutely. See, again, what exactly is entrepreneurship? If you look at it, you're trying to solve a problem which exists in the world, in the market, that is essentially the product or service that you will create.
Yes.
However, entrepreneurship is slightly bigger than just solving a problem. When I wanted to solve a giant problem of career counseling and lack of guidance in the country, it is a giant social problem. I cannot solve the entire problem, on my own. And that is why you will need to develop a business out of it. You will need to develop processes around it. You will need to have a team. You will need to invest in multiple things. In fact, entrepreneurship teaches you all the things that you never wanted to learn. So that's how I see it. In fact, 80% of the time goes into managing other things so that you can do that 20% of your work, right?
Yes.
However, problem solving again comes right in the beginning. What I tell most of my students, in fact, just before this session, I was having a counseling session with this young, very smart girl from Karnal in Haryana. And she wanted to know exactly which direction she should get into. And essentially, it came down to the fact that she wanted power in life. And because she wanted to be in a powerful position in life, she thought of going for UPSC or civil services, government exams, right? And the question I put in front of her was, if you want to be powerful, do you think that is the only way to be powerful, to get into civil service in India? And she said, no, there are other ways also. So engineering or technology is one of those ways. If you look at the world today, the top 5 companies in the world are tech companies, right? They are the biggest market cap, most influential, most powerful, the richest, having the most cash flow, having the most influence as well, right? So technology does provide you that. But then there are other factors also, like law and other things which give you power. For any student out there, what we generally ask them is, think of a problem that you want to solve. Imagine that you have infinite resources at your hand. If you have infinite amount of money and manpower, the best technology in the world, what problem would you like to solve? And mostly the answer comes from a social perspective. It doesn't come from the fact that I want to create a new app. And this is the right point also where Praveen's innovation comes in, because his thought process also, it comes from solving a problem that humans face, right? So this young girl from Karnal said, I want to change the education ecosystem. Now, when you want to bring this big social change, what do? You don't focus on the entire problem yet. You break it down into smaller parts. And the small part which she wanted to focus on was, why don't young Indians have legal literacy? Why don't they know all their legal rights? At the age of 18, they're allowed to vote, but do they even know when a policeman stops you, what rights you have?
Yes.
So shouldn't that be part of our education ecosystem? Shouldn't that be part of our education curriculum? Just like financial literacy, cyberbullying literacy, cyber literacy, AI literacy, and so on.
Yes.
So that is the kind of problem that she is going to solve now. Tomorrow, if she starts working on this for the next 2 years, eventually, more or less, she is going to end up in a very good college. There is a very high chance that she might start her own company around this. Right. So that is why innovation, entrepreneurship is important. I can give you more examples of technology also, but I think that should answer the question.
Yes. This is very insightful, Saurabh. Thank you. So my, on the basis of this, my next question is to Praveen. So Praveen, your journey shows how a college project can evolve into a globally recognized invention and a real company. So my question to you is specifically, can you tell us about your innovation and what inspired you to work on it while you were a student?
Yes. First of all, thanks for having me. Yeah. Thank you, Jagran team and the Dyson team for having me here for the second year, I guess. So yeah, I'm Praveen and I'm founder of this company called Dextrovare Devices. So it's an assistive tech company from IIT Madras Research Park. During the COVID time, during the lockdown time, through my network, I connected with this individual called Dr. Nonita Gangwani. She's a person with multiple sclerosis. So multiple sclerosis makes a person quadriplegic, meaning that she finds challenges moving her limbs. She has a postgraduate degree in physiology, and yet she has this aspiration to become a lecturer. So, as a part of lecturer, she has to make some presentations. And how does she make some presentations? She uses her nose tip. She uses a smartphone which is kept on a table, and she bends down and touches the smartphone using her nose tip. And this is how she makes her presentations. So this is the the problem statement. I mean, this experience really shook me. I realized how much talent and potential was being locked away due to simple reason of lacking of assistive and accessible technology. So that became my turning point. And during my college, I had created a prototype of an hands-free mouse. And what I did is that I just gave it to her, and fast forward 4 years. Now she is a full-fledged, full-time professor at Delhi. She is from Delhi. She is not just an no professor now. She is also a part-time artist. She makes amazing paintings, digital paintings on a computer with simple head movements. So our device is an head wearable technology which enables hands-free control of computers and smartphones with simple head movements. And when I met her, I mean that was during COVID time, so I was not able to physically interact with her. When I met her, I went to her home, and she had a very beautiful wallpaper on her desktop. And I asked, ma'am, where did you download it from? And she said, no, I did not download it. I made it by myself.
Oh,
So
great,
these
great.
kind of experiences and stories is what started and still keeps me and our team keep going.
Praveen, that's really great. So my next question is, how did winning the James Dyson Award impact your journey as an inventor? Can you share some tips for students who want to start their innovator journey?
Yeah, I mean, James Dyson Award was absolute game changer. It was a validation on an global platform. You see, an institution like Dyson acknowledges your work and it opens a door through visibility, credibility, and importantly, it gives us the confidence. Of course, it helped us attract collaborations, access some strategic partnerships, etc. And for students who wants to apply, I would say three things. So one is that solve real life problems. Don't just focus on the technology, but also start with empathy. Go meet, understand the pain points. And second thing is that I would say build fast, fail fast. You don't need to get it right at the first time. Create quick prototypes, test them, get feedback, iterate. No, just keep progressing. And last thing, leverage your ecosystem. Being a student gives you the access to wonderful mentors like Mr. Saurabh here, labs, grant access. You have networks. So I think I received the early support from my college, incubators and mentors. I think without this, none of this would be possible. So just go around. And one last footnote I would like to say here is that in fact, Mr. Dyson himself did not take into account of solving a very, very big problem. He saw what is frustrating for him and he solved that particular problem. So same, go ahead. Whatever that you think is frustrating you, go ahead and solve that problem.
Would love to
This is
add
really great insight.
a point here, Gauravji, if that is possible.
Yeah, sure, please.
You know what Praveen said, leverage the ecosystem that you're in, and that holds a lot of value actually. Mentorship is key in these areas. As we said, as I said earlier, our schools and colleges are going through that transition now of more hands-on learning and developing skills and everything. So accurate or adequate mentorship should be available. So look out for mentors. The platforms like the James Dyson Award are some of the most important, I would say, changes which are happening in today's world as far as career, education, skilling is concerned, because they give early validation, they give early support to young innovators, which builds their confidence, which allows young innovators like Praveen not to pursue very contemporary or traditional career paths, but actually be ready to take risks and know that global pioneers like Sir James Dyson himself and his organization are there to support him. So that is why go for these things. There's another thing which Praveen said, very important, build fast, fail fast, very, very important. We like to call it micro experiments. It's a copyrighted model that I have. You try something, doesn't work out, it's okay. Let's move the direction. Let's change the direction. Let's change the pace. Let's try something new. So
that's
something
that's
that
the key,
I
Saurabhji, I think. Move fast. Yeah. So that's great. See, you both of our speakers are very good. Now let's move on to to our next speaker. We also have Alex Hudson, an engineer at Dyson, having joined the company through the Dyson Institute of Engineering and Technology in 2018 and graduating in 2022. He currently works with Dyson's new product innovation team, developing consumer solutions for India and Japan. He holds a patent for a purified design and was awarded the Contribution of the Year at Dyson. Glad to have you here, Alex. So, Alex, you have turned your time at the Dyson Institute into a powerful foundation for real-world innovation work. So, my question to you is, how did your student years help prepare you to build patent-worthy products at Dyson? Please share some insights about your journey and help our viewers with some tips and enable them to be an innovator. Yeah, Alex.
Well, thanks very much for having me here today, guys. It's an absolute pleasure and an honor to be here talking about innovation and engineering, something I'm super excited about and super passionate about. So really excited to share with you today. Can I just check, can you see the presentation that I'm sharing with you?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, perfect. So on this slide, you can see some images of me throughout my time at Dyson. So as you rightly said, I joined Dyson in 2018 as a student and joined Dyson's engineering program. So we have the Dyson Institute of Engineering and Technology, which is a university program James Dyson set up because he spotted a gap in the market for an engineering-focused university where students could work in real time as well as learning as part of their degree. So I studied for 2 days a week whilst working for 3 days a week on live projects. So those first 3 images there are from my time at university. And you can see there I'm conferring with a colleague about some prototypes, which actually later became that formed the concept for our latest vacuum cleaner, which is Pencil Vac, which you can see in the bottom right image there. And that was from an internal launch event. So we've launched that machine in Japan and Korea now, and it's going to roll out to the rest of the world shortly. But it's really amazing seeing something that I've worked on as a student, at just 18 years old, finally come to life in market. And it's a real pleasure to see people using it and enjoying it. So that's one of the best things about being an engineer, and something I would really encourage you to get involved in is commercial products, so you get that real feeling of success. So So a little bit more about my journey. So once I graduated in 2022, I immediately took some time to travel with Dyson and to understand the different markets around the world, to understand different problems around the world so that we can make our problems better for customers. So that top right photo is actually of me in India. So I visited India. I visited most of the major cities, and we've got loads of stores in India. So I also visited all of our stores. And that photo was actually taken from a launch event. So that was the launch of Air Straight, our air-powered hair straightener, which was really well received in India, and it was great to be there at the launch event, and really great to see how excited people were about the product. And I absolutely loved my time in India. It was an amazing time. I can't wait to come back. And yeah, it was amazing. I visited lots of homes there, trying to understand what problems people have in their homes and how Dyson engineers can solve those problems and make our products better for people in India. And then after that, I went to Japan, and you can see those two images on the bottom left are actually from my time in Japan, where I was featured on the Japanese shopping channel. So the shopping channel is a really popular place to see new technology. And here I am sort of explaining our purification technology on the shopping channel, which was a really exciting and almost a nerve-wracking experience for me as an engineer. Being on TV wasn't something that I was used to, but a great opportunity that Dyson gave me there. So I'm super, super grateful to Dyson for that, and amazing learnings as well. So at the same time in Japan, visiting lots of homes, understanding how we can make our products better for Japanese people. So that's what it's really about. It's about solving problems, and getting closer to the customer really helps us to do that. So really, really exciting few years at Dyson. Now I'm back in the UK. I'm working full-time as a strategy engineer. I'm basically looking across all of our products in the home portfolio, which is our vacuum cleaners, our lighting, and our environmental care products. So that's our purifiers and our fans, and basically trying to assess how we can improve those in the future. So it's a really exciting time at Dyson. There's lots of exciting things to come. I'd like to talk to you a little bit now about James. So James is obviously is a wonderful man. Has given me loads of opportunities, but the start of his story was with DC01, and it was really, really focused on solving a problem, which was eliminating the bag from the vacuum cleaner through the cyclone technology, which he developed. A really, really amazing solution to a terrible problem where we have these single-use bags going into landfill really unnecessarily. And James's solution actually is much more efficient. It doesn't lose suction over time. Famously, vacuum cleaners haven't really gone back to the bag since. So an amazing invention. But really what stands out to me about this is that it took James over 5,000 prototypes. I think it was 5,127 prototypes to land on the final design. And throughout that time, he didn't give up. And in fact, James encourages all of us to embrace failure. In fact, I think you learn a lot more from failure than you do from success. If you find 1,000 ways that something doesn't work, actually you learn a lot more than just getting it right first time. And I think especially as students, we're often discouraged from failure. We're encouraged to seek perfection, and that is true, but embracing failure is part of the journey to perfection. It's part of learning along the way, and it should really be in the mindset of every engineer, really. So here it is. It all started with the bag. On the left there is an iconic advert that came with DC01 explaining the technology. And that's something that we're really passionate about at Dyson. And it's something that if you do consider applying to the James Dyson Award, you should really consider is storytelling and explaining the technology as well. Why is your solution better, and what problem is it solving? And then on the right there, you've got one of our latest vacuum cleaners, which has got the laser illumination, which I think has made vacuuming a lot more fun for everyone. I think it's an amazing technology, and people love it as soon as they try it. So it's something that we're really, really proud of. So this sort of illustrates the design process at Dyson. And is what we would encourage people to adopt as students and to really embrace this process. So if you start with a brief, to get to the solution, you've got to design, build, test, iterate, and repeat, and repeat, and repeat, and keep going and embracing that failure and taking your learnings. And as was said just before I joined, fail fast. It's important to fail quickly, so you can learn and move on and get onto that next prototype and find out what you need to do next. And it's a really amazing process. It's almost addictive to go through these iterations and to see your product improving and coming to life. So when we think about the Dyson Supersonic, that actually had a lot of iterations behind it as well. And there's just a few here on the screen, but there were over 600 iterations of the Supersonic. And on the far left there, you can see it looks very different to how it does on the far right. And it's really important to make prototypes as quickly as possible to get that piece of learning that you're looking for to move on to the next one. So these ones are actually fairly good looking prototypes. We've got some much messier ones, sometimes just out of paper and cardboard, just to learn what you need to learn for that moment to move on to the next part of the process. So if you are entering the James Dyson Award, one of the things I would encourage you to do is to prototype as much as possible and to show your process like this, if you can, from the initial prototype to the final prototype. And it doesn't have to be 3D printed or fancy prototypes. Like I said, it can be cardboard, it can be paper, it can be anything, as long as it demonstrates your idea and it tells the story from start to finish. So, and now I'm going to talk a little bit more about the James Dyson Award. So we have a short film for you here. I'm just going to hit play.
We started the James Dyson Award because we wanted to encourage students at universities to solve problems. And we got 2 brilliant winners this year. Today I'm about to call and I'll tell them they're the winners. Hello, Olivia. It's James Dyson here.
Oh, goodness.
No, I was really interested in your invention.
My product Athena is a patient-managed portable scalp cooling device designed for patients undergoing chemotherapy to minimize hair loss.
I'm very pleased to say that you're the International Award winner for our medical section.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much.
Hello, Daniel and Shane.
Oh.
I was really interested in your invention.
Hundreds of radiosondes sent up to the sky every day to sense critical weather conditions.
Single-use radiosondes become electronic waste, and we want to prevent that. So the SE radiosonde is designed to glide back to collection points.
I wanted to say that you're the winners of the Sustainability James Dyson Award.
That is incredible.
Okay. Thank you so much.
It's really exciting because there are so many ideas, and it's really encouraging to see how many students have solutions for what are severe problems, and that's what I want to encourage.
Okay, so I think that film sort of summed it up really well, but to get into what the brief is always design something that solves a problem. So you should spend a good amount of time trying to identify a good problem to solve. So look around you, look around your everyday life, look around at the people around you, look at the problems that you share, and then really focus in on that problem. So the problem leads to the design, which leads to the solution. We shouldn't be thinking of the solution or a product before we've really thought about the problem. So that's something really important. So the exciting stuff, the prizes. So the national winners can receive a fairly large sum of money. We also have some national runners up, and there is a top 20 shortlist as well. And then we have that comes down to the global awards, and then we have global runners up and global winners as well. So there's plenty of opportunities to win prizes and get recognition along the way. And it's not just about the prize money, it's about the media coverage and the support as well. The James Dyson Award gets a lot of media coverage, which can lead to commercial investment. It can lead to connections and networking, and is generally a really, really exciting thing to be a part of. So the success stories. So we had SoaPen. So SoaPen was a product designed to encourage kids to wash their hands with soap to stop the spread of diseases. So it was a colourful pen to encourage that behaviour, and that was a great success. We also had QuickScreen. So QuickScreen was a solution which had hospital screens, sort of temporary wall solutions before the COVID-19 pandemic. And actually since then in the UK, these guys have taken this solution around to NHS trusts around the country and have been very successful commercially in rolling this out and helping hospitals as well, giving patients better privacy, and helping hospitals in general. So really, really amazing successes from the James Dyson Award. And I think around 70% of our applicants are still pursuing their commercial endeavours today. So really, really successful. So how can you enter? So the things you really need to consider, you need to think about the problem, your inspiration, and how your solution works. But like I said, you should really focus as well on explaining the design process, where you started, where you ended up, and everything in between, and how you made decisions along the way. So And that will really help you with the next point down, which is how is it different from everyone else? Why are your solutions better? And that's what we're really looking for in the James Dyson Award. And it's also important to mention your future plans and any past awards. And we'd encourage you, like I said, to prototype as much as possible. And like I said before, that doesn't have to be complex prototypes or final products. It can just be proof of concepts or even renders or whatever resources are available to you. I would encourage you to use those to prototype. And if possible, to include a video with your submission as well to really bring your idea to life. So the dates. So entries close on the 16th of July, and the national winners are announced in September. The shortlist for the global awards are announced in October, then the global winners are announced in November. So you still have some time, and I encourage you all to really get behind this. And you can actually enter by yourself, or you can enter in teams as well. So maybe do some brainstorming with your friends, your colleagues, other engineers, and see what you can come up with as a team. Really, really exciting stuff, and I really encourage you to enter. So top tips, as I've already mentioned, include a video, include a prototype, and make sure you get your entry in good time. Good luck, best of luck, and I really look forward to seeing your entries.
Thanks, Alex, for such a insightful presentation. This is really great. Thank you. So to wrap up, let's give our viewers one actionable step. Observe your surroundings and write down one problem you'd love to fix. Sketch your idea. Even a rough diagram brings clarity. Take an existing product and ask yourself, how would I make this better? Let's revisit how you can be a part of the James Dyson Award 2025. Visit the James Dyson Award website, click on how to enter, submit your idea with a description, images, and short video. So the deadline is 16 July 2025. Link to participate is in the description below this video. So to all the young minds watching, your journey as an innovator starts now. Whether it's a simple sketch, a conversation with a mentor, or just choosing to solve instead of ignore. Every action counts. Thank you, Saurabh, Praveen, and Alex for your time and insight, and to everyone watching. Keep questioning, keep building, and most of all, keep inventing. Thank you.